Okay, so here we're going to look at something we don't normally spend too much time on, and that is just my world's most simple and basic intro and outro. So by now you've already seen this a million times. It's funny because Annika asked me to do a lecture on intros and outros, and I was thinking, ooh, I don't actually have anything all that fancy for mine. But she and some others have told me that mine is quite memorable and not annoying, which is even better. So so I hope you don't find my intro outro annoying. But I did want to just say that mine is nothing more than a still image that was made 1920 by 1080, which is the HD pixel size that you would have for an HD video. And it's funny because I made this way before I even had my first course live on Udemy. I really wanted to dive into making my first course, and I also wanted to have some kind of little calling card at the beginning and end of my lecture. So I went into Photoshop, and I'm not very good at making slick, corporate looking things. I'm much more of a painter. So I just basically doodled all over my screen with my favorite Photoshop brushes, and I made this just a little suggestion of a chalkboard with Professor Polana at your service and my website. So very, very simple. And basically what I did is I just brought in my still image into my video editing program, and I put it at the beginning of my lesson and at the end of my lesson, and all I did is I just had it fade in, show up for a couple of seconds, and then fade out again. So I'm not going to get into all the different ways to do that in your video editing programs, but it's fairly easy to make a transition where something fades in and fades out. But I will tell you that I did change at least a couple of things over time. One is that this used to be 5 seconds at the beginning and end of each video, but I thought it was just a touch too long. You know, people want to dive right in, right? And so I ended up making it a bit shorter. So now it's 3.5 seconds long. And then finally, I got the music from one of my favorite royalty-free websites, incompetech.com, and from Kevin MacLeod. And I was trying to come up with music that wouldn't be annoying if you heard it over and over again. And I was kind of playing with the idea because I love color psychology, but I also love the psychology of concentration and focus. And apparently, here's a fun little tidbit. If you're studying for a test or you're trying to learn something, you can use blue ink to write down your notes. You'll be more likely to remember it. You can also study in a blue room. And while you're studying, if you eat popcorn or potato chips, but they say popcorn, the crunching of the popcorn actually stimulates your brain so that you're more likely to retain information and stay focused. So what does this have to do with my music? Well, I went with a drum because it was sort of like the musical equivalent of crunching. So just something that wouldn't be annoying. You wouldn't get some weird melody stuck in your head, just a little drum beat to kind of keep energy and attention going. So that's some of my reasoning behind my very simple intro and outro, and I hope this gives you some ideas for ways that you might experiment with yours. Good luck, and see you in the next lesson.